Hey everybody, this is Alvion. I'm going to show you the Ball Lightning build I'm running. This build is sick, and if you're not playing it in Season 2, you're definitely missing out. It's just, in my 20 years of playing Diablo games, I've never seen anything like this. You definitely got to check it out this season. They might patch it out in Season 3. Blizz has confirmed that they're not going to patch anything in Season 2, so you can see here just the numbers are flying. We've all seen this, but I'm going to show you just like how I'm going to do the Capstone Dungeon 2 going into World Tier 4 at level 60, and I'm going to speed run it. I just got done kind of reconfiguring my controls, so I'm kind of relearning it a little bit, but you're going to see that I'm going to do this Capstone Dungeon in less than 10 minutes, start to finish. So here we go. I'll just kind of give you the play-by-play and some of my thoughts on this build. I did start off with the Maxroll build, but then I moved over to NickTew's build, which you can see his YouTube page there. He makes a lot of great tweaks to the Ball Lightning build. I think his call to ditch the Ball Lightning from your enchantments is very good, and doing teleport instead. I mean, once you get some orbs going, it's not painful or anything, but it's kind of annoying. I mean, you're constantly casting them, but the time between groups can really be a little problematic in that you'll drop your balls and you have to start them over again. You can see there I have a few balls that hit the walls of the Waller. Those are kind of annoying. You just got to be careful. But like you can see, I'm already I'm teleporting around. I have the teleport enchantment going. I have boots on that have some max evade charges. So between the teleport having a pretty small cooldown due to all the CDR I'm running, cooldown reduction, you can see I can just kind of bounce around from group to group. You really got to watch those walls. You can see there I lost another one. Later on, you'll see I'll get trapped a little bit with an elite, and I lose them all, and I have to escape out. So you just got to kind of have to watch the walls in this build. But you can see I'm just going group to group, casting some ball lightnings. You don't need a ton to annihilate things. I mean, that's what makes helps you melt bosses and those kinds of things, but absolutely don't need to have a gazillion of them out, although it certainly it does not hurt to have them out there. So yeah, I'm using his build. I'm kind of hybrid right now. His build is very much for end game, which are level 90, and you have a bunch of uniques to fill his slots. But the Maxroll is good, but I think it definitely is lacking in a few areas. Again, I think the call for using using Ball Lightning as an enchantment is. It doesn't go off that much. I mean, if you watch his video, you'll see he talks about the fact that it just is going to drop a ball in a static place, and you're not really staying in one place. And you can see I'm kind of failing to use my cooldowns there with my ice armor and fire armor. Just not, but it's fine. It's a pretty tanky build. I have enough damage reduction that even when I don't have an armor up, I can still survive some stuff. And this is only the Capstone Dungeon. It's not terribly lethal. But you can see I'm just... I play mouse and keyboard, and one of the things I found I had to do was make a force move button. I didn't want to have left click, right click. I wanted right click, left click to both be skills or abilities. So what I did is I have thumb buttons, and what I do is I have a thumb button that once I'm up in an enemy, I've clicked on them a few times, and I have some orbs going with the Ball Lightnings, I just hold down that thumb button for force move, and now I can move around freely. And both Ice Armor and Fire Shield, I guess it is, give me the ability to do that because I have the Ghost Walker aspect, whenever that allows you to basically move freely through enemies. But then also I'm using the Snow Failed aspect, which makes it so that my Ice Armor gives me the same unstoppable as my Flame Shield. So both of those allow me to move freely through enemies, and then I can just stand wherever I want and make sure I'm getting the maximum amount of contact with the enemies that I want. And so that's been working out really great. So you can see I have left click, Ball Lightning, right click, Frost Nova, But I can pop either flame shield or ice armor and get that unstoppable, and then also just be able to freely move through the enemies. I was a little surprised. I did not practice this. I'm no pro gamer. I'm slightly above average, if anything. So if I can do this, you can do this. I will, at the end of this video, show you the current state of all my gear. I will show you the current spec I'm using, as well as my Paragon board. Again, it's kind of a hybrid. It's mostly the Maxroll build still, with just taking some of the pieces from Tim's guide and Tim's build to kind of make it better, to kind of fill in kind of the weak spots. His build is definitely more tankier and definitely optimizes the damage. It's definitely an optimized build. So I've started to incorporate that, but the reason I'm not fully there is, his build is, again, with the idea you're level 90, you have a bunch of uniques. There's a bunch that I don't have. Haven't really, gotten the Ramient body, that will draw in the enemies when you teleport. That's definitely a really nice plus. And particularly with his build, since his build is using the teleport enchantment. You can teleport a lot more, which just means you can literally. And I don't have the unique, so it's not going to do it. I really look forward to getting it. That's part of why I wanted to go to tier 4 right now. I wanted to see if I could do this capstone because I didn't want to start farming the boss. In tier 3, just have to go and do it again in tier 4. I wanted to see if I could get a really good roll to just kick me off with tier 4. So part of this was me just saying, could I do this? No surprise I was. Again, look at level 60, and I'm just absolutely crushing this capstone dungeon. This is probably the easiest time I've ever had with this capstone dungeon. Not that it's super hard, but it is trying to prepare you for World Tier 4. And look at it, it's just crushing things. I don't even have a care in the world, and look at all of the crackling energies I have to pick up. Look at how many ball lightnings I have going there, and yeah, see, now they're dropping off. That was the big adjustment to getting used to this build, was how quickly the ball lightnings fade. You really got to have that constant influx of mana, most of which really actually is coming from the crackling energy. There is some built-in stuff with Prodigy Band that I'm currently running, or Prodigy Aspect, but still, it's just you get that free movement in there, particularly when you have Ice Armor or Flame Shield up, and you just you're kind of half walking around trying to stay in contact with enemies and half walking around picking up the ball lightnings. I think we're coming up on that spot maybe where I was talking about earlier. We'll see. Here it is. You can see, boom, there goes all of my ball lightnings, and I'm casting more, and they're hitting walls, and I'm like, yeah, I got to get out of here. I got to draw these enemies out. Here we go. We got the ball lightnings going, and now I can finish off, that, and collect my animus from that boss. There we go. Pick them all up. But yeah, I mean that's part of it. And so what's working here is the crackling energy is giving me mana, among other things. So that was me checking my map because I'm like, okay, where on the map have I not been? Because obviously I'm missing a couple bosses I need for Animus, and so I'm like, oh, here we go. We're gonna go this way. I'm actually almost done. It's a little crazy. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into tier 4 and start farming some bosses and getting some uniques. Load up this build. I'm going to definitely play with Flicker Step. That seems like a great pair of boots for this build. But you can see, actually, I haven't been using my ultimate that much. Really, the only time I use my ultimate is on a boss, because on a boss, you're going to be kind of standing in a small area. It's really easy to just kind of do circles around him, and you're picking up so much crackling energy. It's a great time to use your ultimate. But in just general running through things, I pop it here just for fun. But I'm really not using my ultimate that much. You just don't need it. It's a great push to help melt a boss. Here you see I'm at the gates, and I just kill the 2 guardians. I could go in, but I'm like, I want to kill you guys because I can. So here we're gonna go. I'm definitely still fumbling with the controls a little bit. I really like having the force move on my thumb button. It's working out great, but I'm still kind of getting used to things. And even with still kind of learning the build, I've only been in this functional build state for a couple days. And look, boom, it's dead. Barely got a sentence out, and he's already dead. So there you go. If you time it out, it was something like a little over 8 minutes. And here I'll go through and talk about what I have going on all these. You can see I'm not running any uniques right now. My gear is not even taken fully upgraded yet. That's probably one of the next things I'll do. Really, one of the hardest things about getting this going was just getting gravitation aspect to drop. Yeah, I think it was like 54 before I saw my first one. And really, what I advise, and if you look around, you'll see this, is like do events, do Helltide events, do events in the Blood Harvest in season 2, and then spend your obols on focuses. It's 40. It's pretty cheap, and I just was gambling that, and that's how I actually I have a backup copy now in reserve. But that's how I've gotten both of my gravitation aspects, was just gambling focuses. Focus on gloves and weapons and rings, but focus is cheaper for gambling. But for like if you're gonna like open chests and hell tides, for kicks and giggles or anything like that, or like if you're at the Tree of Whispers and you have an option to get greens or one-handed weapons, pick those up and hope for a drop. Really getting the aspect was the hardest, but the Maxroll guide actually works really well to 50 even without the aspect, and you can play it without the aspect, but the aspect absolutely changes it and makes it a ton of fun. And really is what is so broken about the build, is the fact that you have these orbs and they're in a centralized location and they're just absolutely annihilating and melting everything in front of you. So thanks for watching. Like this video. You can subscribe if you want. I don't know how often I'll be posting videos. This is my first narrated game demo video, so I hope you enjoyed it. There may be more in the future. And yeah, take care, everyone.